Look at the poor clear coat. What I was trying to say was we're letting the Firebird naturally patina. We've got a few ideas. The roof's really taking a beating. So, you know, should have kept it on the cover on it more, but we didn't. So this is what we have to deal with. So what we're going to do today is 4 to 5 quarts of fresh ATF, full synthetic, for the Firebird. Now, let me put the camera here in a nice shady spot. Looks like a zillion degrees. Not that much for Florida, but you know the drill. So, there we go. That looks pretty steady. So we're going to go ahead and use our pump. I thought of this trick with Miles when we had to pull a little fluid out. So we're going to try that with this as well, instead of doing the whole crawl up underneath and lay around and get all greasy and grimy. Now you can't smell it and you can't see it too well, but we do have a little bit of, it's still pretty fresh, but it's got a little bit of orange and a little bit of burnt smell to it. So, and you know, original transmission after 200,000 miles from what I can tell. So we're going to use our little pump to pull out the fluid here, and then we'll top it off. So I went ahead and cleaned our hoses here. Make sure we don't put any alien, since they are real, alien objects in here. So we'll stick this down. I'm kind of, we'll see if this works. The tube may not allow it. We'll see. See how far it goes. If we hit a curve there. Yep, still going. Sorry about my elbow. Alright, so we'll just see how much we can pump out of here with our little Harbor Freight. And I think our hose is, forget how long it is. We'll just see how much we can pull out, just to keep it fresh. Whenever we do some more, drag racing, hopefully we'll be soon. Just been with work and the virus and keeping up with the miles, just haven't taken this as much. So, but since we're not looking at doing the LS swap on it just yet, want to keep this transmission in as good a shape as possible. So, in and out. We'll see if we pick up some suction here. We shoved as much as we can. I think we might have. Oh. Ah, okay, we got some suction. Alright. Alright, so I got our little container down here. So it took a little while to get the suction up and running, but we'll just see how much it'll pump out. Now, I'm not sure, be the best recommend, make sure this one doesn't spill. But it's a little bit less work than the pan. Let's see how much we pull out. Got a little hurricane that's building out on the coast, so that's supposed to, this is Saturday, so that's supposed to be an issue tomorrow, possibly. Looks like it'll be just kind of like a heavy storm, lots of rain, a little bit of wind, we'll see. Florida. Okay, suction's kind of weird how it flows. Oh, got some more. But yeah, just trying to economically keep up with the Firebird here. Still kind of at a loss for what direction we're going with him. But that could just be because I'm indecisive. So that's not the Firebird's fault or anybody else's. It's me for not being decisive. But it really is amazing how well it runs. I left a little saw at a yard yesterday, so got done a little bit early and thought, well, let me go ahead and drive back tomorrow or yesterday and get that saw so I didn't forget it. Nobody hurt themselves on it. And just pulled the windows down. It was hot, but just ran the windows down and it had the cutout open, which was a good comfortable drive. So hit 95, got a little wide open on it, and runs good. The torque in this little motor, it runs out of steam, high end, but the torque just, man, it will really put you back in your seat. So, and it's been a cheap car, it really has, kind of trying to decide, what direction to go with it. But for right now, it's just a very economical toy, if you know what I mean. So we got it for $2,700, and back in 2015, October 2015. So I don't know, Bear, if you want to label this story time with Todd, or we call it some of that ASMR transmission fluid change. That might be a good name for it. Got some air. I don't know if that's pulling up or if it's pulling air. But I think we got like 2 quarts thereabouts. Take a look here in a minute. Oh, there's some more. Can't sound like air. Yeah, we got about 2.5 quarts out of it. So that's not too bad. Pull it up a little bit. Oop, we got a leak. Put this under here. I didn't want to have a sticky mess here. Alright. Air. This is a shallower pan, so it may not be able to get as much out compared to a truck can, or a truck pan. It feels like there's still some coming up. Let me know if you in the comments if you've done this before. Like I said, don't know if it's the best deal, but I'm not crawling around on the driveway. So we're going to put a little bit of Lucas Trans, or whatever that stuff is. Used it before, it works pretty decent. Probably put like half the container in there. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, right about 3 quarts. Let's see if the hose is. I think we're kind of maxed out in the hose. That's air. Try it again. We're in a level spot too, so that helps. A little bit. I pull the hose out here and give it one crank over and just see if we pull any more out of it. Pull the hose up about halfway here. Alright, and get it out of the way. So we'll give it one little crank over and alright, here we go. One crank. Alright. So, just real quick, we'll shove our hose back in here and see if we get any more out. A little bit. Nothing crazy. Check our hose there. Alright, I think we're going to call it that. So, just under 3 quarts we pulled out. So, I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, we get that much more good stuff in. So, freshen it up a little bit and make sure it's ready. Give me a minute and I'll be right back. Alright, so let's crank it up, run it through the gears, warm up a little bit, and see what it does. It's alive. You know, the interior was really not that bad either. I'm glad when I bought it they had replaced the headliner, and these visors from the Camaro are doing pretty well. I'm going to move my auxiliary cord. There it goes. Alright, let's run it through the gears. Alright, pretty good so far. There's sweat dropping off of me like flies. That was a little harsh. Yeah, I don't like that. Hopefully we don't have it too full. We'll check and see. Hopefully I didn't shove anything where it wasn't supposed to be. That would really make me mad there. I just kind of thought about that. Maybe shoving that hose down there maybe messed up something. We'll see. Well, we'll find out if I did anything. Could just be where it's parked here on the rocks. Or maybe a little bit too much Lucas. I don't know. Have too much in there. Might pull some back out. Kind of what it looks like. Yeah, because there's the hot line. Yeah, we might need to pull out a smidge more. And that's with it cold too, so that's just going to expand. Yeah, it's about right there. So we might pull out a little bit more. Alright. going to grab some lunch, but I think we're going to pull out a little bit more. Alright, so we went ahead and pulled a little bit of fluid out, nothing crazy. Just wanted to make sure. Because running it too full is just as bad as not, you know, under full. So, this puts too much pressure on it. And the hard shifting, I believe, I should have had it running. I forgot about that little trick. I should have gone ahead and had it running when I was adding the ounce or the quart and then the transfix, you know, from Lucas and so forth. And I think that's what the hard shift was, because if it wasn't running, then you had all of that extra new fluid that was getting picked up from the pan. So theoretically, I think that's why. And that's why you really want to do, you know, a few quart at a time, you know, run it and so forth. So, but pull out the fluid, a little bit of the extra, and we're going to drive it and see how it feels. So that's one thing I wanted to do, was just kind of freshen up the trans fluid a little bit before we took the Speed World. So we got the diff cover on the back and new fluid in the diff. And so now we did at least, you know, what we could for the transmission to keep it alive. A little construction there. See how it does in the twisties. Gas definitely took a little bit of a spike. It's 215 over there. Ooh, look at the orange Jeep Cherokee. That's nice. There is a little bit of a breeze today, though. It's nice. I had the eternal check engine light because I unplugged the EGR. And got the ABS light on too for some reason. I think it's stuck. Sometimes that'll go out, but not yet. I think that 3 quarts with the shallow pan is about as much as you can expect to get out. Obviously with the trucks, being able to grab the 5 quarts because you have the deeper cans. So here's the spot where the trans line let loose in the miles. Taking around the twisties here before I work on my other project. Looking at trying to route the power wire for the miles is cut out. Feels good so far. Still need sway bars. It feels really good so far. Just hopefully keep it alive a little bit longer. And .406s are definitely not ideal for towing. Maybe, you know, a little bit lighter duty, and because Mom and Dad's 94 Buick Roadmaster is still original transmission. It's had solenoid, shift kit. I think what it needs now is a torque converter. The whole thing needs to be rebuilt, but still 276,000 miles on that transmission. You know, it needs to be rebuilt, but it's still functional. So I don't know if there was something better done in the early days. I don't know. But even the one, the Suburban, is still functional. So maybe it's just different uses. I know towing, not good towing. Tried doing our burnout last week, taking the tires and miles and just burning up the tires from the Camaro. Oh, that's washed out really bad. I don't know why I turned my signal on for this turn. But you know, last week the four-wheeler guys were really busy in that area, so it's like, well, we'll let them have the play day there. We'll burn up some tires later on. Watched Cleus's new video last night about his taking the Rapid Blue C8. That's a pretty car, man. I really do like that blue interior too. So kind of funny listening to him complain about how slow it is, but you know, compared to the cars he's driving, it is pretty slow. You know, high 7-second, was Ruby a high 7-second or a low 8-second? I don't remember, but you know. Yeah, compared to the new Vet, it's a little bit slow. Alright, well, so far so good on the transmission. I'm going to let you guys go there. Hope you have a good Saturday. If we survive the hurricane, you'll see this video. So, take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll keep you updated. Thanks for the interest on the channel. And we'll see you later.